All right, everyone. Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio. You just saw Aaron Cargile reporting live from Austin Bergstrom International Airport, where Air Force One is about to depart and head back to D.C. We did not get a shot from Aaron's vantage point of the president getting back onto Air Force One. However, our reporter, Eugene Cho, has been following alongside the president today during his motorcade, and if we want to take that, I want to show you guys her tweet because it shows the president getting back onto the plane. So there we go. This is Eugene's shot. She's right there. She says, "That's it. Real Donald Trump is back on Air Force One." And as you can see, he's getting that salute as he climbs the stairs back into the belly of that plane. Donald Trump was here in Austin, just to remind you all once again that he was here to tour an Apple assembly plant for a new computer that Apple is soon going to be rolling out. We have a live shot still from Austin Bergstrom International Airport. The president has now boarded Air Force One, which you can see. It's pretty brilliant. They're sitting there on the tarmac, waiting to go. Our reporters Eugene Cho and Steffi Lee have been traveling with the president. They left from Austin Bergstrom International Airport, where they are back again now. They left from the airport to the Flex facility where those computers are being assembled, and then they rode back with him through the motorcade to the airport and are now waiting and on standby to see the plane take off there. Donald Trump arrived here in Austin just before 2 o'clock or so. So he spent almost 3 hours here in Austin. Oh, and there we have a new shot. And this is from Eugene now. Eugene Cho, our reporter there. We showed you one of her tweets just a second ago. And there, Air Force One is taxiing. Looks like there might be some Secret Service walking away from the plane right there in the shot. But it's not every day that you see the Air Force One pass by like that and get to watch its departure from Austin Airport. We're going to stay on that shot so you guys can see that, and we'll jump back on here in just a few moments. If you're just joining us on any of our live streaming platforms, including Facebook, KXAN.com, and the KXAN News app, you are now watching Air Force One departing from Austin Bergstrom International Airport. President Trump boarded the plane maybe about 20 minutes ago or so after visiting the Flex facility in Northwest Austin. That is where Apple is having its new Mac Pro computers assembled. This is their newest and largest product. Earlier we heard from the Apple CEO. He toured that facility with President Donald Trump and President Trump's daughter, Ivanka, and the Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin. Several other Texas congressmen joined him in that tour, walking around the facility, seeing those computers close up. And now it's almost wheels up, back to Washington, D.C., where impeachment hearings have been happening. Earlier we heard President Trump assail the press and some of the Democrats who are leading that impeachment inquiry, while he was making comments also about the power of Apple and the expansion that that company is having here in Austin. We learned earlier today that Apple has broken ground on its new $1 billion, 3 million square foot facility. That's in North Austin as well, very close to the facility that they were visiting today during that tour. So there we go. It appears Air Force One has gone out of the shot now. We are trying to bring up some other images so that we're not getting on shaky cam for you all at home. What I'm getting right now is that some of our live blog, if you've been following along, we've had a link to that on our website for a while now, just following along as the reporters are going from place to place and tweeting out information and seeing some different things. But the live blog at this point is saying, while touring the facility, Trump stopped to answer some questions, touching upon the reason for his trip and also fielding questions about that impeachment inquiry. This was his exact quote. He said, anybody who follows my campaign knows I always talk about Apple, that I want to see Apple building plants in the United States, and that's what's happening. He was asked today about the ambassador to the European Union, testifying earlier today for several hours' time in front of the House Intelligence Committee. That's Gordon Sondland. He was asked about that, and Trump said, quote, I want nothing, I want nothing. Let me tell you, it's a hoax, and it's a disgrace, and it's embarrassment to our country. Nancy Pelosi, he went on to insult her and put her down, and also call those of us in the media phony and dishonest, which of course are attacks that he regularly repeats during that. We are in the middle of our 5 o'clock newscast at the moment, and coming up we'll have our 6 o'clock, just about an hour's time. But we had some sound that our political reporter, Phil Prazen, had gotten during a one-on-one interview with President Trump. So you'll want to go over to our website, kxan.com. We've put that whole thing up there. If it's not up there right now, it will be there shortly. It's also featured in our newscast, so you can obviously tune in to KXAN and see that interview, which is exclusive to KXAN, a one-on-one with President Trump during that tour at the Flex facility with Tim Cook, the Apple CEO. We want to thank you all for joining us throughout the day. We've seen it all. We've seen the Air Force One landing and President Trump getting off the plane, then the motorcade going all the way up to Northwest Austin to visit that facility where Apple is making its new computers. We saw the president walk around the facility, talk to some workers, learn a little bit about that program and those computers that are being built here in Austin. And then he took some questions and made some comments to the press. Once again, going after Democrats, going after the news media for the ongoing reporting about the impeachment hearings, which were playing out in real time as he was doing this tour here in Austin. That testimony was still going on, and just a few moments ago, 2 more witnesses took to the dais to talk to the House Intelligence Committee during its prolonged impeachment hearing, which will once again play out tomorrow with even more witnesses. So I'm sure President Trump will have something to say about that tomorrow, possibly even tweet about it. We've always monitored his tweets and looked out for those comments. But today he visited Austin and is headed back to D.C. We want to thank you all again for joining us here on all of our platforms, from Facebook, from KXAN News app, from KXAN.com, our website, and of course all of our coverage will be there throughout the day and throughout the evening. As we keep reporting on this, we are hearing about some traffic issues out there, so if you're headed home, if you have somebody that's headed home, they may be a little bit delayed because of the presidential motorcade that went through. Unfortunately, I don't have a map to show you all at this point. We'll work on that to maybe show you at a different time, but that's something to keep in mind as you're headed out and about tonight. All right, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night. Follow all of our coverage on KXAN.com.